Hi everybody, just gonna come live tonight to start off our 12 days of Samhain. So these are going to be over the next 12 days. I'm just going to do some pop-up videos of different Samhain things. And so the first one we're going to do tonight is to do our Samhain altar. And so hopefully some people will come on live with me. Usually my videos are really early in the morning, and not a lot of people come live. So hopefully some people will come live tonight, and I will get some interaction with you guys, like chit-chatting with you guys and seeing your comments and having you participate with me. But we're going to go ahead and get started here, and hopefully some people will pop on. But one of the things I'm going to do is I pulled my altar down that I normally have. So I've moved, actually I shouldn't say I pulled it down. I just slid it down the counter. And I've put out a new mat, one that kind of has some orange and browns and greens in it. That is a little bit more for the harvest time. Instead of the blue one that I normally use. And then I'm just going to go over some of the things that I put on the altar, and as we do it, I'll show you the altar and you guys can see how it's going and things. But and some of the things that I'm going to swap out. I leave this altar up all year long, and over the year, depending on what season we're in, what holidays we're in, what I might be working on, I might just change pieces out here or there, but I almost never completely take it down. So this is going to be the first time that it's kind of been moved in and probably over a year. But yeah, we'll go over some of the stuff that I do put on it. So not quite sure where to start. I guess I'll start with one of my favorite pieces. And that is my skull. Yes, it is a real skull. My husband found it out in the woods behind our house. And so I just did a photo shoot, and he made it in a few of the pictures. But I'm going to set him up. I always put him in the, if you're facing it, I always put him in the upper right-hand corner. Not any real particular reason why, I guess, but that's just where I like to put him. And another item that I like to have on here is starting with the bigger objects, because they're easier to put, and then we can put the smaller objects around it. So I have this candle holder that is kind of like on a pendulum little thing here. And it's got the triangle at the bottom, and I usually put that up towards the upper left side of the altar. And I usually have 2 or 3 different candles. The candles that I normally have is a candle that my sister-in-law, she makes these, and they smell amazing. I wish you guys could smell them. She puts the crackle wick in it, and they're made with essential oils, and she usually has a crystal in there. But I'm going to swap this one out this time, and I'm going to add in this little candle. And one of the things we're going to do on our 12 days is we're going to come back and we're going to kind of doctor this candle up and make it our own. So we're going to make some adjustments to it. But for now, we're going to place it, and it's going to be towards the front of the left side. And I'll show you as we go in a minute. All right. So another one of the items that I usually have on here is a big candle, because I like to have a candle that can do a long burn if I want it. And so I have this big orange one that I've been working with. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. I have it just in a little white dish so that if it does go over, it won't leak all over the place. So I'm going to put that up by the skull. And let's see here if I can spin you and flip the screen. You see my messy kitchen. All right. So you can kind of see there's the skull, and then there's the big candle, and then the candle holder, and then the little candle is there. So that is our progress so far. I'm going to switch the camera back, and take a sip of my tea here. All right, so the next thing is my apple. I usually have an apple on my altar. The reason I have an apple on here is because apples are associated with the tree of life in some stories. The tree of life is up for debate by several different people, different groups, but in the Celtic Isles, on Avalon is Avalon means Isle of Apples, I believe. I'm not sure I'm translating it exactly right, but that's basically what it means, is the island of apples, and it's covered in apple trees. And so I usually have an apple on there, but I'm gonna swap this apple out I'm going to use one. It's fake, but it's a little bit more realistic looking. So I wanted that little bit more of the actual fall feeling in the apple. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up there. All right, and now we're just going to get into some of the smaller things that I have on here, because I do keep quite a few items on here. And I will go over them a little bit. So I want to keep these videos kind of short. I don't want them to be real long, and that's why I want to do 12 little short videos instead of one really big long one. But skulls. So skulls are associated with this time of year. He's a little dusty. This time of year, they're associated with the ancestral lineages, ancestral work that you might want to be doing. One of the recommendations for your ancestral altar is a crystal skull, and I don't have a crystal skull, but I do have this guy, and I always liked the rainbowy kind of color on him, so he's going to go back on there this time. And then I have a little piece of Palo Santos that says Samhain on it, so we're going to stick that on there right next to the skull. And then I have some roses. These ones are getting kind of bad shape here, but they are dried roses, and I keep these for a couple of different reasons. First of all, I think they're pretty. Second of all, they remind me of my grandmother. Her name was Rosalind, and she always wore rose-scented perfume, so it has that little bit of ancestral connection for me as well. And so I have 3 of them, and so I'm just going to place those on here as well. I'm sorry, I know I keep going out of the screen, but you don't really need to see me anyway. You guys see me all the time. All right, so the roses are on there. And the next thing is a chalice. So normally I keep this old bottle on my altar, but I'm going to swap it out for my black chalice. So again, just kind of making it a little bit more of that Samhain feel with the black colors. And So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. All right, and what do we got next? The next big thing that I have, or actually the last big thing I have, is it's a piece of quartz that my husband found. It's huge. It's very heavy, and I don't know, the light probably doesn't do it much justice in here, but it does have quite a bit of sparkle to it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. It's not a generator, which is typically what you'd want to put on your altar, is a quartz generator. But I don't know, that this just feels more important to me. Like I said, my husband found it, and you know, like I said, you catch a little bit of the glint in there. My husband brought it home, so that goes on there. But usually, traditionally, people would use a quartz generator. So, what do we got next here? Little broom. So this is a new addition that I'm putting on again for Samhain, the little symbol of the besom. And this is something we're going to come back and we're going to just kind of probably decorate that a little bit as well. Maybe add a few little things to it. So, but for now, that's going to go on there. Actually, I want it to go the other way. There we go. All right. Just be careful with that too, because we do have candles on here. So make sure your like your broom is not too close to your candle. And again, I will flip you around and show you. All right, so there's the apple and oop, so much for my phone stand here. There's the Palo Santos and the roses, the apple, the candle, the rock, the broom, the candle, and the chalice. It's kind of hard to see in this, but it's right here because it's dark behind. But all right, and then I will go ahead and my phone's gonna fall again. All right, now you're back with me. I bought this phone stand hoping that I could move it around a little bit easy, but every time I go to move it, the phone goes to fall off. So anywho, the next item is a pine cone. I almost always have a pine cone of some sort on my altar, and again, I just love to pull in that nature, outdoorsy kind of feel. I like it more natural than you know, with a lot of different colors and sparkle and things like that. I like to keep my altars pretty normal, natural, woodsy looking. So I'm going to put that next to the broom right there. All right, and then next piece we'll do is my little cauldron. So if you have a little cauldron, you can add that on there. This is one I bought at the Purple Peacock in Littleton, and it is cast iron, and I do burn my incense in there, so there's some in there. And then I just have this little plate that I put it on, just because even though this is cast iron, it still does get really hot, and so just as a safety, I have it on the little plate there. All right, so that is on there. And what do we got next? Let's see here. So I have this little rock, again, something that probably my husband brought home. And again, the camera doesn't do it much justice, but it does have a lot of little sparkle in it when the light catches it just right. And it's a nice flat piece, so I like to put it on there and then put things on it. So that's going to go on there next. And what do we got here? That will go last. I do have two little generators that usually are on there as well. This one is petrified wood, and this one is sunstone. And so actually this one is a generator, and this one is technically an obelisk. So those are going to go on there. And then I have a few items that a friend of mine gave me that she had made. And so there are some little beads that she gave me that she painted the bottom, and I believe there's herbs and I don't know what else is in there, but she painted it on them. And it's perfect because there's 3 of them, and I love 3s. So we're gonna put those on there as well, and they actually really go well with this little cloth that I picked that has orange and greens in it. Next I have a little jar. So this was a prosperity jar. You can see there's a coin in there, and and I burned the candle down inside it to kind of seal it up. So I'm gonna leave that on there for now. So place that on there, and we only have a couple items left. So I do have another pine cone, but I don't know if there's going to be enough room for it. Maybe we will just tuck it over here in the back a little bit. Oh, or knock down the obelisk. Let's try that again. There's that one. There's that one. And there's the pine cone. Okay. I also do have a couple of more rocks for the kin that my husband brought home, but I'm going to leave those off for right now because it's getting kind of full. The other things I have is I have some pieces of some rose quartz. It's very light rose quartz, but it is rose quartz that are usually on there, and again 3 pieces. So I'm just going to place those around, and that's just to call in love and compassion and kindness. All right. And oh, I forgot to tell you, when I was talking about my friend that gave me the beads, she also gave me a little jar that she had made. I'm not exactly sure. That looks like there's some Himalayan salt, some rice, maybe some cinnamon chips in there, some quartz maybe. So that I usually tuck that in there somewhere as well. And she made me this little mini wand. So that's going to go right in front of the Samhain Palo Santos right there. And so the last 2 items that I have is, actually that's not true. I have more stuff hidden back here. I do have a little teeny quartz point. So I'm going to put that on there as well. I'm actually going to put that up on the plate with my cauldron. All right, so the last 2 things that I have is my tin of incense that I use in the cauldron. So I have a little tin here with some incense in it. And I'm going to place that up on that flat rock, because that goes nicely right there. And then the last thing I have is some feathers. And I did have 3 feathers, but then I think my husband has added feathers to my altar, because I have like a bunch of feathers now. But that's okay. And those I'm actually just going to stick in the chalice, and that is going to finish up my altar. And so I'm going to turn you guys around one more time here and show you the finished product. All right, so let's see here. All right, so we have our skull, we have the little wand. Can you see that? The little wand, the Palo Santos, the roses, generator, obelisk. The other pine cone is back here. Big skull, rose quartz, jar, apple, candle, cauldron, little quartz point, big quartz, chalice with the feathers in it, the besom, another piece of rose quartz, the other little jar Donna gave me, flat rock, incense, the little beads she gave me, another piece of rose quartz, candle, pine cone, and then the big candle in the back. And so that is going to wrap up for now my Samhain altar. And let me just turn this back for a second. You guys got a close-up of me. And so like I said, the candle we're going to come back to, because we're going to doctor that up a little bit and make some adjustments to it. And as well as the little besom, we're going to do some decorating with that. Those are just a couple of the other things that we're going to do. So I guess that's it for tonight. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, say hi, let me know you watched it, let me know if something was interesting, let me know if you have any questions, comments, something you think I might need to add to my altar, because I'm always up for suggestions. Or if you do an altar, I'd love for you to put a picture of your altar in the comments as well, so other people can see them and get ideas from yours as well. So I guess that's it for this video, and I will see you guys all back here tomorrow. Tomorrow I think we are going to be doing a fall sugar scrub, I think is what I've got on the agenda for tomorrow. So that's tomorrow. So see you then. Have a good night.